Well, new video this morning shows a Cleveland police officer shooting at a man armed with a pickaxe near the West Side Market. This was from November 26th. The video you're seeing here, we freeze it before he fires the shots. Now, officers, they were responding to a call for an attempted break-in on West 25th Street. Body camera footage just showed the suspect grabbing the pickaxe from a bag and moving it toward officers. Police, they tried using a taser, but it didn't stop him. That's when another officer took out his gun and shot at the man. He didn't hit him, but eventually that man was arrested. Well, how about this for a tradition? Our own Jamie Sullivan is taking the stage tomorrow night in A Christmas Carol, and your tickets will help local children. So Jamie will be making a surprise appearance in the show at Playhouse Square's Mimi Ohio Theater. The show. Well, I mean, like, I kept surprise in there because I wasn't sure if you showed up at a surprise moment. Like, people didn't know when you were going to come in. Okay, so it could still be a surprise.
And y'all heard all the time, especially this year. Are y'all okay? You know, a new survey from thelines.com says 1 in 3 fans think about Big Brown's losses than more than losing their significant other. It also says 25% of those fans would rather be dumped on Valentine's Day than lose the Super Bowl.
Yo, we gotta get into the Super Bowl.
Exactly. I was about to say, you got to make it to the Super Bowl first. How you even know what that feel like? Okay, the survey found that an average Browns fan needs about 3 weeks to recover from a loss.
A massive fire in Glenville. We're here on East 105th Street at Grantwood. 14 crews battling this blaze. The call came in at about 6 o'clock in the morning. The building vacant. It was mixed use. It had apartments on top and it had businesses on the bottom, but no one was hurt. The building had been vacant for a while. Now, crews were attacking this fire from both above and from the street, but they did not go in the building. Cleveland Fire Department Lieutenant Mike Norman says that the building was compromised.
Call was for a building on fire. We're on East 105 between North and South Boulevards. And arriving companies made this a 222 fire. They made it a second alarm, bringing more resources to the fire. We had a total of 14 fire companies respond over here. Over 60 firefighters came to fight this fire. We got it under control. We've had some collapse hazards. We've had some brick walls that are falling down. So it's been a dangerous fire to fight, but the guys have done a nice job under it this morning.
Crews aggressively fought the fire for about 2 hours here in Cleveland's Glenville neighborhood. They started breaking down at about 8 o'clock, sending crews back to their stations. But again, no one hurt. A vacant building at this point. The cause of the fire still under investigation. But again, no one was transported to the hospital as a result of this fire, although flames were able to be seen from the building. Smoke was able to be seen and smelled for miles around Glenville. Reporting from East 105 at Grantwood, Vic Gideon, 19 News.
Yeah, when I made a tour of their salt mine, they did not share any concern for a salt shortage. However, the city of Cleveland says that's certainly not the case for them. Now, here's a look at streets here. We're told that the city will now have to choose what streets they will treat. And what we've been experiencing this morning so far is definitely streets that are plowed, but some slushy and slick conditions.
The city of Cleveland is running out of time and options. City leaders say with less than 10,000 tons of salt left, they're making a tough call. The city says they'll continue to plow the streets, but crews will only salt main roads, dangerous intersections, schools, or hospitals. The city is blaming their supplier, Cargill. They say the Whiskey Island Company's deliveries are delayed. And get this, Cleveland say they placed their orders 5 months ago. I toured Cargill's salt mine back in December. Here's what they told me.
Take a lot of those at snowfall by snowfall, and so as demand ramps up, our teams here will put in extra overtime days to be able to meet the customer demand.
Cargill has yet to respond to our request for a comment. The city says Cargill won't explain the delays.
Now, the city of Cleveland says that this issue is not only with Cargill, but also other vendors. But again, we know that the city said they will continue to plow roads, but again, they'll have to choose which roads, mainly main roads, that will be treated. And the 19 Snow Tracker, Noel Williams, 19 News.
Yeah. Rain overnight has actually caused significant problems here this morning for neighbors. They're getting up and getting kids to school and heading to work. But you can see about 4 inches of rain fell here in Painesville Township. We're on Dufton Lane and Sheffield Terrace, just off Bacon Road. About 2 feet of water here in this intersection. Cars are able to pass through here. But again, neighbors are waking up and talking about problems in their homes. There's obviously flooding. They say that they're worried about their furnaces. And we also know that down Dufton Lane, there was a bus that tried to get through. They say the cul-de-sac dips down about 5 feet of water down there. We talked to neighbors, and they say it has been difficult to see the damage so far this morning.
Nightmare. There's probably a foot and a half of water, and it's still rising. The sump is working. It can't keep up. It's coming up out of the AC drain, actually, for the condenser. So I don't know. We're just going to have to try and get the garbage out of there because it's not the best water in the world, and I think it's sewer.
Yeah, the work's just beginning here in this neighborhood. A school bus driving by me, so it is getting somewhat back to normal, but neighbors are going down there assessing damage. They're obviously calling their insurance companies, and they'll be finding out exactly what the next steps are as far as getting their lives back in order. And again, there will be some loss here, certainly because of that flooding down in the basements. Reporting in Painesville Township, Vic Gideon, 19 News. A firefighter rushed to Metro Health Medical Center while fighting a fire in Cleveland's West Park neighborhood on West 136th Street, just a little bit south of Lorraine. There was 3 people who lived in the house. They were all out safely. Fire crews don't know what caused the fire. They do believe that it started on the 2nd floor. Protests around the country and right here in Cleveland after the shooting by ICE of an unarmed 37-year-old woman, a mother of 3, in Minneapolis. In Cleveland, the protesters are calling for ICE to be abolished and to get out of U.S. cities. Meanwhile, in Washington, the Department of Homeland Security is calling the incident an act of domestic terrorism. The site of a mass shooting over the summer in Cleveland will remain closed. A federal judge threw out a lawsuit by Play Bar and Grill that alleges that the city of Cleveland violated their due process rights as well as wrongfully interfering with business. 6 people were sent to the hospital in the shooting. A 19-year-old and a 21-year-old have been indicted for that shooting. A 17-year-old will face charges as a juvenile. 2-year-old Genesis and his mother, Shalante Maddox, both injured in a marked parking lot in Parma back in March. Now the trial for 89-year-old George Velasco begins this morning in that hit-and-run case. A plan to significantly reorganize Cleveland Public Schools. The Cleveland School Board will vote whether to close 29 of the district's just more than 100 schools. Supporters say it saves $30 million and makes the schools more efficient. Detractors say pulling schools out of neighborhoods will destroy communities. 7 suspects still on the loose. 18-year-old Chase Holt Jr. shot dozens of times at an East Side convenience store on Christmas Eve. His mother talks about his death, her plea for justice, asking anyone with information to step forward. You can see behind me, not much rock salt in this giant bin here in Lorain County, and that's going to affect us as communities try to stay ahead of this winter blast coming this weekend. There's a rock salt shortage. Cargill has been late in getting shipments to local communities throughout our area. We've reached out to Cargill and have yet to hear back. Hopkins is bustling over this record-breaking holiday travel season. Major airlines like American, Delta, and United are offering to waive rebooking fees if you're flying to one of the areas affected by this bad weather. 8 million people expected to fly during this holiday travel season. It's recommended you check your flight before you leave your house and try to arrive 2 hours before your scheduled departure time. About a dozen homeless people living in a tent city here at the Scranton Cemetery on Scranton Road in Tremont. They're getting ready for temperatures dipping down into the single digits. The city provided trash cans, porta potties, people even bring food every day, but they're getting ready for the bitter cold temperatures over the next few days.